Well, DR, it's great to see you again here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I had a great time yesterday at the Agentic AI Summit on stage with you. I thought that was a really compelling problem statement that you laid out around the difficulties operators are facing scaling Agentic AI.
Yeah.
For the folks that were not in the room with us, can you maybe take us through what some of those key challenges are?
Yeah, I think, I recently had Rick Lievino on the Telco in 20 podcast, and he shared something really interesting with me about AT&T. They have 400 deployed agents, and they stopped short of running them in production. And I asked him, what's going on with that? And he's like, it's all about governance, right? They're not sure they're going to make the right decision, and so they're pumping the brakes. And I think we're going to hear a lot about that at the show this year and in the next year. What's the problem with the agents? And so until telcos start to figure out it's all about having the right context, we're going to have a lot of problems with agentic AI. I mean, AI does work, but you got to fix your context first.
Yeah, when I think about AI in the abstract, I kind of break it up into data, compute, and context.
Yep.
Operators have data, they have access to compute, but they really struggle with context.
Yeah.
Why is it such a big problem?
Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, when you go talk to any operator, they'll complain about their hundreds of software systems that are running the telco. And in each one of those systems, there's a different definition of the word subscriber, right? Is it a device? Is it a line? Are we talking about a person? Are we talking about an enterprise? And so AI is really great at making decisions, but when it has that contradiction, it doesn't know what to do, right? So it guesses. And so that's when you get those unreliable results. So until the telcos start to model their telco, their business processes, the decisions they'd make, their rules, in a way that not only can be leveraged in an agent, but leveraged across the enterprise, right? We're going to have that problem with context. So as soon as they start investing in that, they'll start to see great results.
So how is Totogi helping operators address this context problem and get agentic AI scaled in production?
Yeah, it's exactly what we're working on. We call it the Totogi ontology, right? It's one representation of your telco, one truth. And so when you create an AI application, it runs through the ontology and down to your legacy systems. It doesn't require a swap off or a change to a Totogi system, which is really great. I think we get caught up in, let's go build a data lake to clean our data. Let's go do a transformation to a new system. Let's consolidate vendors. Those are similar strategies or typical strategies that operators use to solve this semantic inconsistency problem where I have different definitions for the same word, right? The ontology abstracts that away. We have one definition, and now AI is talking to that layer. And that compounding value of being able to constantly extend it, change it, update it, and have all your AI run through it, that's going to be the big unlock for AI for telco.
So this idea of an enterprise-wide ontology that connects context across the business is really compelling vision,
Yeah.
but it's not a vision. This is something that's in the hands of tier one operators today. Can you
Yeah.
tell us about some of your customers?
We're up to nearly 10 tier one operators that are using it. I could talk about two, right? Zain Sudan and StarHub. So Zain Sudan started with a network problem. They had this really interesting situation where cells would go dormant or fall asleep. They're not alarming on a dashboard, but subscribers start calling in and complaining that something's wrong. Before the ontology, it took them about 48 hours to figure out what the problem was and detect it and solve it. We brought that down to 30 minutes, right? And now we can add a machine learning predictive AI on top of it and stop it before it even happens. So really powerful stuff. What was so great is that once they started to see the ontology, we didn't need to build and model their entire telco. We just did this small problem. But they could see how they could very easily extend it and grow it. And for them, it's been something they've been looking for a long time. We did one pilot, 4 weeks later, they moved it into production, and now we're just adding more and more use cases, which is super awesome. On the other hand, StarHub, completely, Asia, we're in Singapore now, right? They're using it in their enterprise business group. They wanted a way to train their enterprise sales reps more quickly, but they also wanted to give them a job aid so that when they're talking live to an enterprise, it's literally transcribing the conversation, suggesting what they should say, and then going a step further to suggest the product they should sell, right? And so just imagine the unlock for an enterprise group to not only be able to have, exactly, they're selling what you want them to sell, but it's like having your head of sales, your CMO, recommending the products you want to sell, the high margin things, bundling in the right way, following the script. You still need people because you still need that human relationship, but imagine giving them the script that they need so they nail it every time. It's pretty amazing. And so I think once telcos start to use that ontology and unlock these little use cases, we really see kind of that hockey stick of adoption because they can trust the AI. The ontology won't let you hallucinate, won't let you make a bad decision. So it's really awesome.
So for the operators who are watching this, who are very likely struggling to scale agentic AI, tell us a little bit about what it's like working with Totogi.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. We start with a 4-week pilot, right? And we ask that you give us a real business problem, right? Not something theoretical, some harebrained idea, something you're struggling with today. We scope it down, like I said, to a 4-week pilot. We meet twice a week and really show you the acceleration and speed that you can start to model these problems and get reliable results with AI. We start to build your ontology. And once you see that and you see how it can't go off the rails, it can't hallucinate, I think we have about 100% track record on moving things into production, and people then start to really unlock all the use cases. So I'm everywhere. You can find me on Twitter. My DMs are open. I'm on LinkedIn, right? But obviously finding us on our website is another great place to get started. And I can't wait to unlock AI for telcos as soon as possible.
That's great stuff, DR. I really appreciate you sharing your time and your perspective with our audience.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.